So the assignment that I have is a needs assessment. And what I did was I spoke to someone from JHI, the Judith Creed Home for Adult Independence, which was started in Elkins Park, I think, and also has some location in Radnor or Bryn Mawr, maybe Haverford. It's pretty local. They only have a handful of locations, maybe like 100 participants, and they're for adults with intellectual disabilities who want to live independently. But they have a residential program where it's adults with disabilities living in an apartment complex or house together, depending. They have like independent living spaces, but they're staff members and they can eat dinner together and that sort of thing. They also have in-home programs where there are staff members who go to the houses of adults with disabilities, and they might live with their parents, or they might live on their own, or they might live in like a mother-in-law suite or something, and they do assistance there, and they try to make social connections. So they'll find out a lot about the individuals and be like, oh, these 4 individuals like hiking. Let's get them together to hike with a staff member. So that's pretty social. And then they also have a program called JHI Cafe, which is for adults with disabilities. They all have to be verbal in all 3 levels, ages 18 to 30, and that's like classes or social nights, or they pair with a robotics program, or they do like coping skill seminars and that sort of thing. So I spoke with a woman there, and she told me a lot about JHI and what they might be interested in when it came to a sex education curriculum. And I'm still going to do a second half of the interview with one of their program directors. So like the woman I spoke with, her name was Beth, and she like gave me a lot of information because the woman I'm going to speak to next is like super busy, but will have the more specific answers that I'm looking for. So Beth like gave me all of the background and information that I need. And when I speak with the second woman, she'll be able to fill in those last like fine tune my answers. Not that her time is more valuable, but I guess she has less free time or something. And when I was explaining all of this to Beth, she said, this sounds really interesting. So I pitched it to her. I was like, listen, I'd love to interview you. She said, well, what will I get out of this? And I said, it's a great question. I will happily give you my curriculum and any of the resources that I used to build it. And she said, that sounds great. Like when it's finished, if we like it, maybe, who knows, maybe you could co-lead this as a class or a program with one of our staff members. So it's not like a huge, they haven't said, ooh, we like what you've already written. I haven't written anything yet, but they like the sound of what I've been doing or what I'm interested in doing. So that's a thing. What did I do this week? I last spoke with you on Monday. On Tuesday, I went to a Beit Midrash at Repair the World, and it was for International Women's Day, and it was all about feminism. I got to teach someone about TERFs. TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists, because apparently you haven't experienced the struggle of growing up as a woman if you're a trans woman, and therefore cannot possibly be part of women's spaces or the feminist movement. Whatevs. I mean, not whatevs. I knew about this already. It was just, makes me so mad. Wednesday I hung out with a friend and then spent a little bit of time with Kenny. Thursday, I conducted the interview and then went to Jason's house, and then tonight was MK's birthday party, and I had a really good time. It was a fancy cocktail party, so I'm dressed up, all dapper. I've got on some nice slacks, and I mostly spent the whole party wearing an apron because I worked in the kitchen the whole time, which is my favorite thing to do. I went to Trader Joe's, I bought a whole lot of appetizers, and I kept them circulate, bake the cheese puffs, bring them out to everyone, bake the mac and cheese bites, bake the stuffed mushrooms, sorry Greg, bake some pizza this and pizza that, and spanakopita. Yeah, it was fun. That's my favorite way to do a party. I'm really tired now. I've had it's 12:30 at night. Oh. I've had 4 drinks. So, of course, I'm not tipsy or anything. I'm just incredibly exhausted. That's how I roll, apparently. Tomorrow, I'm hanging out with my gal pals, with my lady crew, and we're going to help Sarah Grace go wedding dress shopping. So we're going to David's Bridal because she's not watching these videos. Courtney really dropped the ball when it came to scheduling dress shop appointments. So any of the like nice boutiques that Sarah Grace wanted to go to were of course booked when Sarah Grace called on Tuesday, or when Courtney called on Tuesday of this week. So we're going to David's Bridal. It is what it is. Maybe Sarah Grace will get a little more, be able to narrow down a little more what she wants, which is, that's fine, that's fine. And then I have a day in the evening, and I think that's it. I'm having breakfast with someone on Sunday, and it's my weekend. Not much exciting is going on. Game day, I have a game lunch, hopefully once a week with some of my coworkers. We play like Codenames or Munchkin, or that's what we played so far. Hopefully I'm going to get them playing Chrononauts. Oh man, I want someone to play Chrononauts with me. But it was canceled today, so I worked out a whole bunch, so that was fun. That's everything. I'm real tired. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm so glad you guys are having a great trip. You might saw the pictures of the bees. They look fantastic. It looks like you guys are all having a total blast.